Welcome back to Fak'd TV News and Unorthodox Sales. This is Gregory Higgins, and you're turned on and into the only real fake news that matters today, and also the place to find the newest and most innovative products of this century. Today I have stories for you on the new journalist hunting and trapping season, the first policy ever of providing free drugs for all addicts, and the depressed liberals' suicide epidemic. And I am very fortunate to have working with me tonight
Mike Siri here with stories on the massive United States forest cleanup policy, how Miami is going Venice style, how the stock market is going casino crazy, and how the future of microchipping has arrived. Back to you, Greg.
Thank you, Mike. And now to our other great anchorman.
Jeff Semperman, back to let you know about the latest corruption scheme has been uncovered. That Onoco Products has introduced its latest doorbell machine gun. How to conquer the world in the Trump 4D chess set. And how weapons worship has gone gun crazy.
And Mike is going to clean up with his first story.
We all need help in one way or another, but people in California these days are in need of much more help than most. In light of the devastation caused by recent wildfires, it is certain that drastic action needs to be taken. Now, one of the proposed actions is to sweep clean the forest floors and trim the trees across the nation's drier sections of forest lands. But in order to rake out those forests, it would be a monstrous undertaking that would need huge amounts of people. It would need even a large number of people than that of the monstrous horde of immigrants that was heading towards our Mexican border. I think it's time we should make a decision to round up and arm all the illegals with rakes, pruning shears, tents, and MREs as they are crossing the border and sending them straight to work in the driest sections of the country. The work they do at minimum wage could easily more than cover the amounts needed to be paid out by insurance companies from the destruction caused by the wildfires. And it's one of our core American values to protect the profitability of the insurance section. If we can also help protect the environment at the same time, hey, it's even better.
Hey, thank you very much, Mike. Much. Either way, it still
You're
works.
Greg, welcome.
Are those the caravans still out there? Or sort of after the election, you really didn't hear much about it.
They've been dodging it, but it's more of a Dodge Caravan. But nevertheless, these things.
Yeah, maybe the news is just not covering on them anymore. They got bored. They went somewhere else. The news people just left. That could be the possibility also.
You need to fire tear gas at them. That might make news.
And I came up with the idea, instead of having huge crowds of people, you just get huge people with huge rakes.
That works.
They could cover a lot more territory faster that way.
Boom, boom.
Like
Bing,
Jolly
bang,
Green Giant.
boom.
Just
Yeah,
get a
that's
bunch
it.
of him.
We got
Clone him.
genetic engineering. This is the key. We can fix that instantly. Bing, bang, boom. That'll be in our next TV show, I bet.
Bunch of green giants raking the forest.
And thank you very much, Jeff. We're going to have to go to Jeff for his next story.
Fact 8 TV News has received a recent report about corruption in the federal government that is incredible even by our standards. This report was released from the office of California Representative Nancy Pelosi and describes a shocking new trend in which elected federal representatives have started receiving campaign contributions and other assistance from corporations and shadowy special interest groups to help them get elected. Even more shocking, there is evidence that in some cases, these contributions may actually influence legislators when considering bills under discussion in the House and the Senate. Just imagine, if this report is true, your House representative or senator could actually ignore the wishes of their constituents and instead be introducing, amending, and voting on legislation for the benefit of some special interest group that's helped their campaign. Reports suggest that powerful corporate interests, including the banking, armaments, fossil fuel, and pharmaceutical sectors, may already be using this new scheme to get favorable legislation that helps them to profit at the public's expense. And it's not just corporations. Other special interest groups, such as labor unions and the National Rifle Association, also appear to be trying to influence legislators using this diabolical new scheme. But fear not, because several Democratic House representatives have proposed legislation to stop this alarming new threat to democracy. They've released the details of a bill they plan to enter in January when the new Congress is seated. This bill aims to counter this new corruption scheme by limiting lobbying activities and requiring greater clarity in campaign financing. We can only hope that this proposed legislation can be enacted before this new trend spreads to the point where our government works only for the benefit of special interests and not for the average American.
Not for the average American.
It would be shocking.
If they would.
Thankfully, the Democrats have nipped this in the bud.
That's right. Nancy Pelosi has put a shadow on that. Shadow. Nancy
Cast
Pelosi's
shade on
shadow. Shadow? Shading?
I got to be honest with you. There's something about her turns me on a little bit.
All right. Anything that
Possibly the shadow.
turns us on
Could be.
is a good thing most of the time. Well, anyway, I have our next story. It's now been claimed official. A new American journalist hunting and trapping season has been verified with no licenses, bag limits, or safety training necessary, and using a bone saw to dismember the reporter is optional. After the confirmed kill of journalist Jamal Khashoggi in Saudi consulate in Istanbul, hunting season has now been officially opened worldwide. This concept has been thought of and discussed in tight circles of desperate dictators for years, but now that the President of the United States has officially announced the dismissal of guilt of his favorite dictators / customers for such killing, it's now been claimed official, and the discussion has turned from avoiding international sanctions to the debate of establishing a fair and equitable pro-rated scheme for setting bounties so that less affluent regimes won't be left out in the cold having to pay hired killers to take out the enemies of their people. So now, all journalists out there in the world, you may have always known that there was some danger in your profession if you choose to make yourself an enemy of the people and spread fake news disparaging the people's beloved leaders. But now it's even more dangerous than it's ever been. We here at Fak'd TV News trust our beloved President Trump to recognize that our fake news is offered to help the people, to appreciate his greatness, which may not be apparent to many Americans who are confused by the fake news, lamestream media, and its relentless attacks on our dear, fearless leader.
Wow. Completely agree.
Praise the Trump.
He's doing a great job, particularly for journalists.
That's absolutely... Is that true? I don't know about that. Hey, it depends upon what TV station you're working for, I guess.
Very
There's
good.
a possibility.
No, that's not my story, and I'm sticking with it.
Okay, that's his story. He's sticking to it, and Mike is sticking to the next story.
Climate change is happening, and it's happening now. Seeing this as fact, Mayor Francis X. Suarez of Miami, Florida, is working with city planners and engineers after a recent fact-finding visit to Venice, Italy, and Amsterdam, Netherlands, in order to see the possibilities of turning Miami into the largest island city in the world. Closing the first floors of buildings and raising electrical wiring, plumbing, and other utilities of all high-rise buildings is one of the first changes planned, which will need to be looked into and dealt with fast, as increases in sea level lead to more frequent flooding throughout much of the city. Details of the preliminary plans, leaked to Fak'd TV News by an anonymous source in the city government, says that all roads and sidewalks will be left to an underwater graveyard, and all traffic signals and lamp poles will have to be elevated to accommodate new boat traffic. Residential houses are going to all be left out in the cold, figuratively, because this is southern Florida, to fend for themselves. It is expected that some residents will try to elevate their homes, following the example of the picturesque stilt buildings nearby in Biscayne Bay. Others may try adding additional floors onto their current homes, converting the ground floor into a boathouse. The renovation and conversion work is expected to boost the economy, showing yet another way in which global warming and rising sea levels help to stimulate economic growth. You see, there's always an upside to any downside, and we have to start looking, I think, a little bit more at the upsides.
Yeah, I see. Francis.
Just need that American entrepreneurial spirit.
That's
Without
right.
a doubt.
Francis X went to Amsterdam to see how to get a high-rise rise.
Hey,
Yes,
you think they all went Dutch treat?
that's a possibility. Hey, and we're rising up to our next story, and Jeff has that one.
With the help of Onoco Products and Development, Fak'd TV News and Investments has helped finance the development and put into production the very first ever NRA-approved Save Yourself and Your Family doorbell viewer and fully automatic machine gun. Why should you settle for an unsophisticated and newly developed doorbell security system that might only scare away unwanted intruders when you can have the real thing? You can keep your home safe from anywhere in the world the NRA way with a video doorbell that'll give you the ability to see who's at any door of your house, and it'll give you the ability to aim with your phone and gun down any unwanted intruders at a rate of 600 rounds per minute. As the U.S. military is transitioning away from the M249 squad automatic weapon to the new M27 infantry automatic rifle, the surplus belt-fed machine guns have become an economical choice for home security. Combined with the latest remote viewing and targeting technology, our new system lets even the most technophobic homeowner control the gun and fire back through either a simple smartphone app or with a dedicated controller. So don't be a slouch, be special, and be the first on your block to have a confirmed bad guy kill. Just remember the name Onoco Products and get one today to ensure that you and your family has a secure and safe, very Merry Christmas.
That's right. Thank you very much.
Not happy holidays.
And you all out there, remember to save yourselves with Onoco products. They come up with the most fantastic, innovative ideas. It's good stuff, isn't it? Anyway, I'm Gregory, and I'm back with our next story. If you're suffering from the emotional, physical, and spiritual pain of drug addiction, your time has come. That's right, your time has come. Freedom from the stress and strain of where and when you'll get your next fix has ended. Everything that you've ever wanted in life is yours now for free. The emotional degradation of being an opioid-addicted druggie has ended. The days of spending all your hard-earned dollars to maintain your addiction is over, because now, with the help of a local government, you can get all the drugs you want free of charge. All you have to do is go to your local drug rehab, tell them you're addicted to opioids or heroin, and they will give you all the drugs you need to make you feel safe and secure in the drug-addicted lifestyle that you're accustomed to. Sounds too good to be true? Well, it's not. In an effort to reduce drug-related crime and keep violent drug traffickers from competing with the pharmaceutical industry, this new program cuts out the criminal middlemen so that you can get your fix without finding a network of dangerous gangsters. This program is entirely paid for by the federal government, so it's absolutely free. So just call up your local rehab and get the prescription for a new life today. This story is sponsored by Drug Free America and the pharmaceutical companies nationwide.
Incredible.
If it's
Well-
paid for by the government, it's free.
Always.
And Mike, you got another story for us.
It figures. The figures are all mixed up. Who knows what's right and what's wrong when it comes to tax breaks and trade wars? It's all just a big guess, I guess. The big man in charge likes to give the impression that he definitely knows what he's doing. But does he? Some might question the financial genius of a man who definitely knew what he was doing when he built and then bankrupted several casinos. Who could go broke with a casino? It takes a very special kind of business prowess to go bankrupt while you're emptying the pockets your customers and subcontractors. Yeah, it's a very special kind of con man to get people to believe that you're good for the money and that they're going to get paid more because you cut taxes for a bunch of your wealthy friends. And now that very special business acumen has been translated and transferred into the stock market and markets around the world. The markets have turned into one man's greatest casino ever built, and the best part of it all is that it was built without any construction necessary. Now that takes a very special kind of genius. And if the gamblers lose too much, they can count on the American taxpayers to help bail them out to cover their losses. When you win, you win. And when you lose, you still win. How could you lose? Round and round she goes, and where she stops, nobody knows.
That's the way it goes, round and round. With the world, the planet, everything else around us, huh? Hey, thank you very much, Mike, for that great story. And Jeff is on for his next story.
There's a perfect gift idea, sure to please every loyal supporter of our beloved President, Donald Trump. As his followers are aware, President Trump is a master of four-dimensional chess, making moves that appear to his critics to be foolish or even insane, until they see the resulting increase in American greatness as foreign leaders are forced to accept Trump's superior intellect and steely resolve to put America first. What better way to celebrate Trump's skillful deal-making than with the new Trump 4D chess set? Unlike a boring, ordinary chess set, which just has a plain board and a bunch of pieces the players move around, this new chess set is designed to work interactively with an app that features actual quotes from our beloved president. In this game, when you try to take one of the other player's pieces, you have to consult the app to watch the result, featuring actual video clips of President Trump selected at random to determine the outcome of the move. If Trump declares the other player's piece to be a fine person, you don't get to take it. But if Trump declares the piece stupid, lazy, crooked, or other epithet, you get to take it as in normal chess. Even better, if Trump declares the other piece an enemy of the people, you not only remove the other player's piece, but also the square of the board on which it stands. As the game continues, the playing area constantly shrinks until one player can win by removing enough pieces of the board that the remaining squares have a set number more white squares than black squares, indicating that America has been made great again. All your loyal American friends and family will love playing this improved version of chess and will thrill to the sight and sound of our president determining the outcome of every exciting move.
That is an exciting game. That sounds very thrilling.
Much more interesting than regular chess.
Absolutely.
Even better than that 3D chess they show on Star Trek, but they never actually seem to play.
Wait a second. Is this available through Oh No Go products yet?
Sure it must be. Just in time for the
We
holidays.
gotta get it out into the market immediately before the holidays. That's a great game. I want to play that one. But here's another game. I'm going to play a preliminary report leaked to Fak'd TV News by a source inside the Center for Disease Control reveals a shocking suicide trend that has been previously kept from the media for fear of causing a panic. The report details that many thousands, possibly millions of liberals, extremely distraught by the Trump administration's actions, and particularly the decision to use tear gas against poor, starving immigrants and children in search of a safe place to live, have made the decision to end it all. More surprising is the method of suicide they've chosen, which is to attempt to kill themselves by eating the possibly E. coli tainted romaine lettuce. The leaked report says that incidents of food poisoning from contaminated lettuce are being recorded nationwide, creating a secret epidemic of depressed liberals attempting to end their lives. Fortunately for their natural laziness and lack of clear moral resolve, means that these attempts are seldom successful, and reports suggest that they are now turning to the other widely known organically grown herbal substances to help suppress their depression.
The only problem I see with that whole idea, however, is it suppresses their depression, but it increases their appetite. So then what do they eat?
All that romaine lettuce they've got
That's
in
right,
the
and I think
refrigerator.
that's just the tip of the iceberg. Maybe they need to go back to some more healthy, conscious foods like bacon and cheeseburgers.
Nobody seems to be depressed eating bacon.
That is a
And
fact.
cheeseburgers.
That
with
is
the
for sure.
onions and the whole shooting match there. Mike!
Well, this is the new craze to meet the newest wave right into the future. Businesses throughout Germany, Japan, and China are now microchipping all their employees. Microchipping technology is well known to many pet owners who have their beloved cuddly pets implanted with microchips under their skin so that they can be identified and returned if they're ever lost or separated. Well, now, businesses are taking this concept even further by implanting their employees with a microchip that allows the business to keep constant track of where employees are and their productivity. Tracking software can automatically record when an employee arrives and leaves and how long they spend in the bathroom or break room. These data can be automatically sent to monitoring software to provide supervisors with real-time information on their workers. Future versions may even allow the supervisor to deliver a small electric shock to prompt employees back to work if they've been on break too long. In the near future, all employees will also receive their pay directly into their microchip, completely eliminating all paperwork. Workers will then be able to go shopping and pay for goods without the use of currency, credit card, or smartphone, or even depositing the money into their bank accounts. So watch out, people. If you're an average worker, the days of getting past the boss, the IRS, or police scanners are ending fast.
That could be good and bad. Good for some people, bad for others. Imagine having a shock that'll knock you out if the boss gets pissed off at you. Wow,
Now, at least that recording job performance is the excuse they give. What if they really are fearing an upcoming rash of kidnappings of employees and want to be able to locate them?
Well, that could be too.
Yeah, I'm a little suspicious of that justification they give. That just something doesn't seem right about that.
And this could be another like Bill Cosby like thing where they make them like semi-conscious so they can take advantage of them too. That could be another way. You never know what is going to happen once they stick these freaking microchips in your body. It can start controlling your brain.
Could happen.
They might start looking at their employees in a different light. Anyway, Jeff, you got a next story.
In view of the recent mass shooting attacks in places of worship, threat posed by horrific continuation of assaults on clergy and their flocks has highlighted the need for drastic action to develop preventative measures to address this risk to religious worshipers throughout the country. The NRA says the solution is to arm churchgoers, letting them carry concealed handguns in places of worship along with everywhere else. But many people don't feel comfortable with the thought of facing an armed attacker with a small concealable handgun and may not want to have room in their lifestyles for a loaded gun. Parishioners who worry that they don't feel comfortable handling weapons during services can take comfort that Fak'd TV Laboratories has been working on this very problem and will soon be introducing a line of clerical vestments designed to conceal and readily access high-powered assault weapons so that clergy can defend their flocks from human wolves, just like the shepherds of old. Priests, rabbis, and others already wear loose, bulky, shapeless robes that are ideal for concealing assault weapons, such as America's favorite AR-15. Having easy and fast access to an assault weapon rather than a puny handgun will give religious leaders the firepower they need to effectively take on an attacker. Our new robes work in coordination with a quick-release harness that hangs the AR-15 inconspicuously, ready to be instantly deployed through Velcro closed slots to allow clergy to return fire without delay, saving lives. To make returning fire even faster, our labs are also working on a line of snag-free guns that have protrusions such as sights removed. Who needs sights, scopes, or other aiming devices that snag on clothing when you've got the good Lord directing your fusillade of bullets at the evildoers threatening your flock? So if you worry about an armed attack at your church, synagogue, mosque, or other place of worship, don't just rely on hopes and prayers to protect you. Ask your religious leaders to arm themselves with the latest in church defensive technology from Onoko Products today.
You know, I have to say something here. I mean, I am not generally a churchgoer, but I might have to start going back to church now. If we're gonna be able to fight back against this thing and use this kind of weaponry, God's work is mighty good.
It's a horrible thing that there's mass shootings at mass shootings.
Yeah, wow.
And one thing you don't want to see is a protrusion coming out of a priest's robe.
No, I said
That's the last thing you ever want to see. Anyway, that's it for our show. This is Gregory Higgins, and I'd like to thank you for taking your time to watch our news tonight. So you guys at home, ladies and children of all ages, sizes, colors, and ethnicities, when the story is too good to wait for the facts, Fak'd TV news and unorthodox sales bring you the news as we see fit. May you all enjoy a good, clean life, and remember to be honest to the spirit that lives within you. Have a great day and a good night until next time. Mike, could you say good night?
Good night, everybody.
And Jeff, could you say good night?
Good night, viewers. Remember, bacon, not lettuce.
And keep your protrusion in your robe.